Welcome back to school. I know that this year is starting off differently than all previous years, but I am here to help you navigate distance learning at Harmony Middle School. In a way, this is a life lesson on being flexible. You may not know what is coming around the corner, but you have to adapt and make the best of it. So let's begin by taking a virtual tour of a virtual day at Harmony Middle School. Harmony's administrators include the principal, Mr. Stewart, and the assistant principals, Mrs. Hepner and Mr. White. Next are all grade level teams. The 6th grade team includes the dean, Mrs. DiCarlo, the counselor, Mrs. Sharp, and the secretary, Mrs. Heffron. The 7th grade team includes the dean, Mrs. Pinero, the counselor, Mrs. Brown, and the secretary, Mrs. Dacey. And the 8th grade team includes the dean, Mr. McGrady, the counselor, Mrs. Pearson, and the secretary, Mrs. Buckley. Our school nurse is Mrs. Mills. She would like you to know that all incoming 7th graders need updated proof of Tdap. Tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis vaccine to start school, even virtually. The parent liaison is Mrs. Weber. She helps families with school supplies, food resources, winter coats and clothing, emergency assistance, and general information about the school that parents may request. As we embark on the brave new world of virtual learning, there are a few expectations. First, students will be required to attend every class. Teachers will be taking attendance at the start of each class. Second, you will need to set up an area in your house where you will work every day, preferably free from distractions. Last, complete all assignments. Assignments will be graded. What does a virtual day look like in Harmony? I'm glad you asked. It looks a little different for everyone based on their grade, but everyone starts Tuesday through Friday with advisory hive time. What is advisory time? Advisory hive time starts at 8:35 a.m., so make sure you log in early so you won't be late. Attendance will be taken at 8:35. During hive time, you will have morning announcements to inform you about what's going on at school. There will also be mini lessons on team building and PBL. Monday is still a school day. Everyone will use asynchronous learning at home. You will do independent or group work on your own. This is a time when you can also set up an appointment to meet with your teacher. Tuesday and Wednesday will be your A days. On these days, you will have blocks 1 to 4. Your school day will start at 8:35 with advisory hive time. The first half of each block will start with synchronous learning time with your teacher for 41 minutes. Then you will have an asynchronous learning lab, which is also 41 minutes. This is where your teacher will divide you up into groups. During this time, you might have small group work, independent work, remediation, enrichment work, and competitions. Your lunch break will be from 12 to 12:30. Remember, attendance will be taken in each class. Thursday and Friday will be your B days. On these days, you will have blocks 5 to 8. Your lunch break will be from 12 to 12:30. And let's take a look at how this will look in a real schedule. The first two columns show the block where you have your classes. They are numbered 1 through 9. In this schedule, you're missing block 5, block 8 is repeated, and block 9 says homeroom. The black oval is around the 9th block. Homeroom is another name for advisory hive time. You will have this at the beginning of each day at 8:35 a.m. The yellow arrow is pointing to term. If there is a wide R, you have that class all year. Notice that block 4 has an S2 underterm. This class is taken in the second semester only. If your schedule says S1, you will have this class only in the first semester. The purple arrow is pointing to the course title. Here you will find a list of all your classes for this year. The blue arrow is pointing to the day on which you have your classes. You will have blocks 1 to 4 on A days and blocks 5 to 8 on B days. In 6th grade, you have English on both A and B days. I want you to take a look at block 3 English. On this schedule, English will be in blocks 3 and 5. On the schedule, block 5 is missing. That's because that is when you will go to English. So your B day will begin with block 5 English. The pink arrow is pointing to the teachers you will have for each class. If you're in 6th grade, pay close attention to the green oval around resource. It says resource 6 first. That means that during your 8th block, you will go to resource first, learning lab for distance learning, and then saxophone during the second half of 8th block. What is Learning Lab? Learning Lab is a time when you will be assigned to a group. These groups are determined by your teacher based on your needs. There are no structured learning labs for 6th and 7th grade music, 7th grade art, and 8th grade resource. In 6th grade, when you have music, the first half of that block will be resource. During distance learning, your resource time will be your learning lab time. For example, your schedule will have the first half of your block as resource and the second block as music. During the first half, you will use this time as a learning lab. If the first half of your block is music and the second half is resource, you will use the resource time as your learning lab. Whenever block says resource, you are not logging into resource. This is your asynchronous learning lab time. The specific details of your classes will be discussed during the virtual back-to-school night by your teachers. Now that you have a better understanding of how your virtual day will work, let's answer some of the most commonly asked questions. What happens if I am sick and can't attend my virtual class? If a student cannot attend school or is planning to leave instruction early, the parent must contact the attendance secretary or registrar via the attendance hotline via Parent View. It is recommended that the parent inform their teacher also. How is content going to be delivered, and will there be training? This year, we will be using Schoology to deliver content. Students will be taught how to use Schoology during the first week of school, and parents will be receiving information on how to use Schoology too. Will students get textbooks? Most textbooks are in an online format and teachers will share when class begins. Math books for Math 6, Foundations of Algebra, and Pre-Algebra can be picked up from the school. How are electives going to be taught? These will be taught online too. We had a great success with teaching electives virtually last year. More information will be coming during the virtual back-to-school night. If a student needs extra help, how will they get it? There will be opportunities for students to receive extra help. Learning Labs will be used for working with small groups to receive extra support, enrichment, independent work, and collaborative work. Students can also schedule an appointment with their teachers on Mondays to receive extra help. Will students have the ability to work with others on PBL projects? Yes, collaboration is encouraged. Who can a parent contact if they have questions or concerns? Teachers will have office hours where they will be available to answer questions and help with any concerns. How quickly should students and parents expect a response from a teacher? Students and parents can expect a response back within 24 hours. Thank you for watching. If you have any more questions, please feel free to contact us.